Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. Good evening and welcome to Kardec Radio 24/7, always nourishing our souls. I am Correa, and we are here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to study the divine laws. Why shall we study, dear friends, the divine laws? Because we are living at a time on the earth when we see the instability of the laws that are created by humankind, how impermanent our points of reference tend to be. So we need to have a firm rope to hold on to, a rope that is so tight and firm that when we feel as though we are going to slip, we can hold on to it. What shall be our tight rope that we can hold on to, dear friends? The immutable laws that govern not only the earth, but also the universe. And where can we find such laws, dear friends? We learn from the spirit mentors on high through the compilation of Kardec that we can find them in our conscience. However, how come we need reminders? Because at times we may forget or choose to ignore the universal laws. So, God, being the supreme source of intelligence and love, allowed for the mediums at Kardec's time to psychograph the divine laws inspired by the mentors from on high working under the Christ. These laws now can be found on the third part of the Spirit's book, the ethical moral laws. And these are the laws that we refer to in our program. Tonight, we are going to continue studying freedom of conscience. And we welcome everyone. Hello, Saulo. Thank you for your kindness. Good evening, dear friend. And we welcome everyone who wishes to join us because we are here on Kardec Radio to nourish our souls together and to form a beautiful current of light that shall sustain not only ourselves but others as well. If you wish, dear friend, please feel free to write your name and a comment on the chat so we can make our study more interactive. If you are watching us on demand, please feel embraced, beloved, and appreciated by God as a beautiful divine child. Now, dear friends, let us begin by reading our first question of tonight. We are studying all the divine laws in the same sequence that Kardec organized them by. In tonight's program, we shall read question 841 and 842 if you wish to follow along. So let us begin with question 841. Kardec asks, out of respect for freedom of conscience, should we allow the propagation of harmful doctrines, or may we, without going against such freedom, seek to lead back onto the path of truth those who have been led astray by erroneous principles? This is an excellent question by Kardec as always. He is asking the mentors on high if we are entitled by God to help lead someone who has taken an erroneous or wrong pathway back to the straight and narrow pathway. Sometimes in our lives, dear friends, we may wish to do so. We may feel as though we, quote unquote, know better than others in our lives, particularly in intimate relationships of parent and child or partners. We may feel as though we know better. For instance, sometimes we may feel as though because we know Spiritism, we really would like others to cherish this treasure with us. So we may even impose it onto relatives by saying, I know a reality of life that would bring you consolation. Let me tell you what it is. And we may want to push it gently towards that loved one. That is a natural tendency that we may have because we would like for others to cherish the same treasures that we do. So it's fair and valid that Kardec asks if this is the right thing to do. And the mentor spirits answer by saying, certainly, you may, meaning you may try to lead back those who are in erroneous pathways to the pathway of truth. You may and you should try, but follow Jesus' example. Teach by gentleness and persuasion, not by force, since that would be worse than the belief of the one whom you desire to convince. If there's something that should be allowed to be imposed, which is goodness and fraternity, but we do not believe the means for doing so is violence. Conviction could not be forcefully imposed. So, yes, the mentor spirits understand our desire to have the ones that are beloved to our heart partake in the belief systems that we do, understand that life is everlasting, understand that death as we tend to perceive it doesn't exist. Understand that life goes on. Understand that our difficulties are the results of our own actions and they are with us for educational, not punishment. For the purposes of educational goals, not punishments. We may wish to shout that out to the world, saying to ourselves, imagine how much life would be different if others knew what we do. Sometimes we go to spiritist centers and we may even count how many people are there in attendance or think of the attendees in other countries and count how many native speakers of that language are amongst the group. And we may think that we have a great plan for the dissemination of Spiritism in other countries, that we need to make blockbuster movies and make 5-minute programs to be broadcasted on all social media, and we may have a great platform. And all of this may get us super excited to share what we know, which is good. But we just learned tonight that we are being invited by the mentor spirits to not be forceful. So, what are they saying? They are saying that yes, we can share, but we shall show the efficacy of what we believe not through words, not through social media, not through external tools, but rather through our own conduct. What a beautiful proposal from the mentors on high. They are saying that we shall not worry about converting others to our belief systems. We shall not try to gear others to a certain direction. We shall not try to control others so that they reach a desired outcome that we believe is best. They are saying, the mentor spirits, that if we wish to reach our desired goal of convincing a loved one to take a particular path, then we shall take it ourselves. Let us think, dear friends, of Master Jesus, since he is the governor of this planet and, first and foremost, our model and guide. Let us look at Judas and Master Jesus. Think about it. Let's think about it together. Judas was one of the disciples of Master Jesus. Judas was with Master Jesus day in and day out. Judas saw Master Jesus' preachings and healings and loving attitudes towards everyone. Yet, he thought that he had a better plan than the Master as far as disseminating Christianism. Jesus, because he's the governor of our planet and our master, already knew what was taking place in Judas's mind. However, he did not lecture Judas. He did not say, Judas, I am the master, I am the governor of this planet, I am so much more superior than you. You don't know what you're doing. Let me get things straight, dear friend. No, we never hear of Master Jesus carrying out such conduct, expressing himself in such a way. He did not impose his beliefs onto Judas. He, Master Jesus, definitely knew better. He knows better up to this day. But he doesn't impose, he doesn't force. He leads by example solely. Let us then now bring this this teaching even closer to us. Of course, Master Jesus is our number one model and guide. But we can also think, dear friends, for instance, of Chico Xavier. We know that Chico Xavier had family members who even burned his psychographed books. His father did so. His father even put him down for becoming a spiritist. His godmother tortured him as a child. Chico Xavier underwent so many difficulties, and yet he never demanded or asked or imposed his belief systems on his relatives. He knew how to accept others as they are, and he did not impose, rather, he led by example. So much so that though he passed away many years ago, we are still living out of his legacy. Every day we nourish our souls with the beautiful books that he psychographed. And yet, during his time, he was not fully recognized or accepted even by his most uh, closest relatives. So, what are we learning tonight, dear friends? We are learning, we are being reminded yet again that Earth is a hospital, a school, and a prison in certain circumstances. Because Earth, as a planet, serves serves multiple functions in one single family. We may have spirits incarnated to educate themselves, to heal themselves, or to correct themselves, depending on their level of evolution in terms of understanding the divine laws. They may be on very different pages than we are. We may at times feel as though we are fish out of the water. Does that mean that we are then to impose our way of being and living and understanding the world onto others? The mentor spirits are proposing that we do not. However, the mentor spirits are reminding us that the power of our examples will speak louder than our words. So, how can we put this teaching into practice? Let us think of the prayer of Francis of Assisi. How can we put this into practice? If we believe that our relatives, loved ones, co workers need to be more responsible towards their duties, let us be the example for them and be more responsible ourselves. If we think that our partners, our daughters, sons, aunts, uncles need to be more loving and understanding, what is the recipe from the mentors on high? That we be more loving and understanding ourselves so that they can be offered the model that they may not have yet had access to. How about if we would like someone to be more forgiving towards us? We wish person X would give us a break. What do we do then? We learn to forgive first. And by giving the example, we open the road, we open the pathway, we open the door, we open the possibilities for that very person to learn this new way of relating to us and to others. So beautiful opportunity for us to grow spiritually as we make ourselves of service to others. What is the take home message to us tonight? That we give to others what we would like to receive rather than lecture or impose our um, thinking and feelings and rules and ways of being onto others. We are asking to lead by example. Great proposal from the mentors. So let us do an exercise this coming week. Let us think of the one person in our circle of action and think of one quality that we would like that person to showcase more of. Then let us propose that we ourselves make a conscious effort to exude this quality. Let us visualize ourselves behaving in this way. Let us research people who already have this quality. Let us listen to TED lectures or Spiritist lectures or inspirational lectures on this very topic. Let us become an expert and mold ourselves a little bit more towards this very quality. Then let us mirror this quality that we would like to see in our loved one in ourselves. And let us wait to see the universe giving back to us what we would like to receive. This is the law as explained to us by Master Jesus. Let us now, dear friends, that we have discussed this beautiful proposal from the mentors, talk about our last question of the evening. This is question 842. Kardec asks, since all doctrines claim to be the sole expression of the truth, by what signs can we recognize which one actually has the right to be presented as such? So, since many ways of being, many religions, many systems claim to be number one, the best, how shall we measure if they are in fact the best? The answer from the superior spirits is it will be the one that produces the fewest hypocrites and the greatest number of moral individuals, which means they practice the law of love and charity in its greatest purity and widest application. By this sign, you will recognize which doctrine is good, because these doctrines that result in sowing disunion and establishing division amongst God's children can be only erroneous and harmful. So we have another lesson from the superior spirits. Number one tonight was, let us seek to give first the very qualities that we would like to receive. And number two is, let us practice coherence, because the mentor spirits have reminded us that the best belief system possible is the system that allows for us to align our conduct with what we believe. Because when we believe a certain conduct but do not behave in this way, there is a disconnect and we may be perceived as hypocrites. Let us think of an example. For instance, if we know of Spiritism and with this knowledge we choose to commit an abortion, or we encourage someone else to commit an abortion, we are being hypocritical, because we say that we believe that life is everlasting. We say that we know that at the moment of conception, the spirit connects to the body, but yet we choose to kill the physical vest of that reincarnating spirit. So, if we already know of Spiritism and we choose to commit an abortion, that is a sign that we are not yet aligned with our belief systems fully yet. This is a crack in our own inner system. So, how can we align ourselves? We need to check to see if we are actually doing what we are saying. Another example. If we study Spiritism together, dear friends, we know that without charity, there's no salvation. This is one of the pillar principles of the Spiritist understanding of life, the practice of charity, the need, the call to serve one another. If I know of this belief, if we know of it and we believe in it, and yet within a period of 24 hours, we don't spend 1 minute thinking of the universal family, then we say that we believe in charity, but we do not practice it. So, what is another way to understand this question that we just read, question 842? The best belief system is that in which there's less hypocrisy. How can we best understand it? It's when we actually practice what we believe. So, checklist for us. If we are spiritists, are we doing all that we can to preserve life, including our own, by avoiding drinking alcohol, taking drugs, or shortcutting our physical lives or the lives of others, including unborn spirits, yet spirits that are transitioning from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. Second, if we are spiritists, if we are seeking to embrace spiritism, do we practice charity? Meaning, how much of our 24-hour period of time do we devote to others? Do we say a prayer on behalf of others? Do we make a phone call that is not related to work or to our immediate family members? Do we write a gratitude email to someone we haven't seen in a while? Do we look for those who are in need within our communities? Right now, because of the pandemic, there are many who sadly have lost their jobs. Have we sought for a shelter or food bank to donate to? Also, dear friends, have we thought about donating our time? Because being of service, it does not only involve giving of ourselves materially, but it also involves giving of ourselves spiritually. If we believe together as a spiritist family, dear friends, that charity is one of our central pillars, then we are being called to give of ourselves. If we do not give of ourselves, then we are being hypocritical. What does that mean? That we are saying that we believe that charity is a wonderful principle, foundation, but we are not there yet. We are not acting accordingly to that. How so, Carol? For instance, if I am having dinner, if we are having dinner with our family, and our partner, our child, our aunt, our uncle, even our pet is calling for us, but we are on the phone checking email, or in our heads we are thinking of that portfolio that we left on the table for tomorrow, or we are thinking of the plans for the weekend, or we are thinking about a movie on Netflix. We are not giving one another the gift of our presence. Did we know, dear friends, that the gift of our presence, our mental, spiritual presence, is also a form of charity? Because then we are giving attention, we are giving love, we are giving vibrations of understanding to one another. It's like giving each other a vibrational hug and saying, "You matter." How many of us don't wish to feel loved and accepted? And how many of us we sometimes don't feel accepted because we know, for instance, that we are talking to someone, but that person isn't actually there? Have you had this feeling? Have we had this feeling that we call someone and we know that they're talking to us, that their body is there, but their minds and their spirits are not there? This is a coherence problem. We say that we love someone, we say that we believe in charity, but we are not yet offering of ourselves. So, another take home message for us, dear friends. Can we, this coming week, practice charity towards one another, especially those closest to us? by giving of ourselves. And again, what does that mean to give of ourselves? To give of our presence, to give of our eye contact, to give of our time, to give of our attention, to give of our minds to one another. Shall we? Yes, beautiful proposal. Two proposals from the mentors. Two take home messages. Let us lead by example, giving what we would like to receive. And let us be truly charitable by giving of ourselves to one another. Did you know, dear friend, that you are a gift? That I am a gift? That we are a divine gift from God? Let us offer of our best divine seeds of love to one another. Shall we? Yes? Beautiful proposal from the mentors tonight. Thank you, dear friends, for the blessed gift of your presence here tonight. And we invite you to stay tuned on Kardec Radio because Kardec Radio is always here for all of us, nourishing our souls. God willing, we will be back right here next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another study of the divine laws. Until then, dear friends, we wish you a big loving hug of fraternal understanding and hope and joy, and we wish you many blessings. Bye for now.